So, hey guys, Chauzu here. Today I thought we'd talk about the new batch for Kizuna, which includes a new legend in V2 Reiju, as well as a new Ichiji, Niji, and Yonji unit. But first, I like to just discuss the fact that a mystery has been solved. If you look at the anniversary Sanji, the Rush one thing I always found strange about him is that if you check his Rush, or Superclass, I guess, but in the Rush specifically, for some reason they added all of the wind smokes, and I also thought that was weird because this Sanji is of course Wano, fight against Queen. That Queen is all about Sanji not wanting anything to do with the wind smokes, but still they added it to the Rush, and we have only Reiju for the Superclass, but yeah, it makes sense now when we get a badge, and it's very clear that the new badge is made to be used with this Sanji. So let's take a look. Yeah. We have a lot of Sugas going on. It's faster to go from behind actually. There we go. But yeah. Here's the Kizuna, so new legend, and new legend sadly means worse steps. Like if we don't have a legend, 5th step is guaranteed new unit. If we get a new legend, 3rd is a recommended unit, which sounds good, but then you look at the units here, like the Pudding, that Frankie, like they will have very high rate, very likely to pull them, so it's very realistic that you do 5 multis and don't get any new units, so very feels bad, man. Legend debuts Kizuna are probably one of the worst we have in One Piece Treasure Cruise. But yeah, with that said, let's take a look at the units. We'll start with the brothers, Ichiji, Niji, Yonji. And yeah, I like where they are going with this unit. They are a fighter powerhouse. They have a final tap. They have a super class. They also have reduced CD, so they will be ready very early. On top of that, every time a fighter powerhouse uses a special, you reduce their CD, so you can get them ready even faster thanks to that. So there's a lot going on with the kit. Not only that, they are also captain swappers, which makes sense since they are a rare recruit with super class. Anyway, captain ability, 1.25 times HP, Dex tandem matching, fighter powerhouse 3.5 times attack, a further 1.5 times attack if you use their special and swap them to captain. So that's a total of 5.25 times attack, which is respectable. And you also reduce damage by 10%. Special low, -1 CD, reduces the spear by 6 turns, plus 1.2 chain boost for 2 turns, and you can choose to swap to captain. And I say that the special is the most disappointing part of the unit. Like, we do have some utility and some extra damage with chain boost, but I feel like it should have had one more thing, either some warp money or some more utility or some other buff, like even base attack boost could have been useful. Maybe not together with the Sanji, I guess, but yeah. Just some buff extra will have been cool. Or maybe something like if you run 5 different colors, since that's a theme with some recent units, so you could have got some other chain buff maybe, but yeah, it is what it is. And if you move up to captain, you can use the super class as long as you have Reiji, Judge, or Sanji on the crew. Then you will extend their chain boost, so it becomes a 3-turn chain boost. You can keep it to the next stage. Then you can remove the captain swap, and you also get the super fighter. So I'd say that the main reason you'd use this unit in general is to get the super fighter, which is some nice extra damage. And if we talk about the context of the Rush Sanji, not Super Tandem, then he's already a superclass free spirit. So by pairing up with this unit, you can get both classes, so the Sunny will hit really hard, for example, or any other free spirit fighters like a Luffy unit, for example. Final tap is actually really cool. It's pretty shocking that they decided to do this on our real recruits first, but yeah. You need 2 specific units. You need Sunny, Winsmoke, Reiju, or Yonji. And I guess it could work with 2 Sanji, like if one is friend captain, but otherwise, like, pretty steep requirement. But yeah, you boost the base attack by plus 500 for 1 turn, so they hit a bit harder basically. And you also change enemies into decks for 1 turn, so you ensure that the strength unit will be able to hit against dex enemies. So that's actually a really cool gimmick, but of course just like the Super Tandem Shanks, the Super Superfest exclusive that can change color on enemy, this won't work if the enemy has super type themselves or if they have full immunity. I'm pretty sure that's how it worked. So a pretty niche but cool unique thing anyway. Main issue will be that since they are Kizuna rear recruit, leveling up their final tap will take very long. Like, they rerun every Kizuna, but the rate will be pretty low, so pretty unrealistic to pull them on a regular basis. So I'd presume that I won't max them this year, at least. But yeah, with that said, let's take a look at Reiju, who is a Dex super type we can see. Dex fighter powerhouse. She also has a super tandem, very cool. So let's start with the captain ability. Dex fighter powerhouse, 1.25 times HP, 5.25 times attack, 5.5 times attack when you have recovery, tandem, Wano, Samla, G, or rainbow slots. So just anything but normal slots basically. Makes their strength slots into tandem slots. That's very unique. Reduces burn by 10 turns. Makes recovery tandem slots have matching slot effects. And heals crew by 3 times carries recovery at end of turn. So reducing burn is pretty cool. We do not have a lot of units that does that. The only one I can remember right now is General Frankie. Maybe I forget something. But this means it will be the first non-duo unit to remove burn, and duo units have some obvious flaws, so pretty interesting. Other than that, pretty vanilla, like strength into tandem might not even be a great thing, so it does let you, well, basically gives you more options of getting tandem orbs. There's also no way to get strength orbs. If there's a strength barrier, for example, nothing you can do about it, stuff like that. As for the special, reduces damage threshold by 7 turns, reduces paralysis by 7 turns, removes poison, changes block, unfavorable and adjacent slots to tandem. And if character was captain at start of quest and is crewmate when special is launched. So basically you run radio cap, but when you use the special, she is not cap, she is sub. Very unique requirement for a special. You do a 2.75 times conditional boost to poisoned enemies. Otherwise, it's a 2.5 times, what do you call it? Conditional boost for 1 turn. So yeah, you always get something, but if you fulfill this specific requirement, you get something even better. So pretty decent trade-off. And yeah, I'd say that this special is also pretty meh from a legend perspective. Like, the utility is not that great. Like, just removing damage threshold, like, it's really you just get damage threshold, and you need something to remove maybe Death Up or Rainbow Shield as well. And if you could remove 2 of them, it will be a lot better. Paralysis, nice to remove, but not as valuable as the Spear of Bind, I'd say. but she removes poison, which makes sense. It's decent enough. The ore manip is also not the best, like it's very specific block, unfavorable adjacent. But also, except for that, the only damage boost she does is a conditional. And if you look at Reiju's super type, which is how you apply poison, it says she applies radio poison to all enemies for 99 turns. But it doesn't say anything about applying it through full immunity. So as far as I know, radio poison works the same as normal poison, so that will mean you can't apply it then, and then the unit is pretty worthless, and very rarely you'll be able to actually apply the poison. So at least the super type also adds a very good cold affinity boost for 3 turns for Dex, Fighter, and Powerhouse. But yeah, also you need Judge, any of the brothers, including Sanji. So makes sense. One cool thing though with the 99 turn Reiju poison is that it can have some stall applications, since as you see, we reduce 20% of enemy HP every turn, we heal 20% of our own HP, so can probably do some interesting stall strats with that. Not really my way of playing in general, but I see the potential at least. As for the super tandem, you need at level 5 one more fighter, and then any of the Windsmokes or Sanji. And basically, bottom row will get a 2.5 times attack boost tandem, and the rest gets a 1.5 times tandem attack boost. And you might wonder, how does this make any sense? This is so dumb and bad. But basically, the way they've designed Reiju is that she's supposed to be used with the Rush Sanji and with the new Ichiji, Niji, Yonji unit, basically. You start with Reiju as the captain. You can use the super type, apply the poison, get a color affinity, and then you use, let's say, the brothers, the new re-recruits, move them up to captain. You get the chain boost, you use their super class, you apply the super fighters, you got both dex super type and super fighter. Then you cancel their swap, move up Sanji with Sanji special, and before moving Sanji back down, you need to make sure to use Reiju special to get the better poison conditional. Then you also use Sanji and you get all of his stuff, the Shame Boundary, I think he does the base attack boost as well, so you get some stuff from him. And then you move him back down, you get the superclass fighters, you get super type Dex, superclass fighters, superclass free spirit. So after that you're ready to go basically, and the idea I presume is that bottom row is Sanji and the new brothers. You can start to rush with Sanji, you build up for the super tandem, and I guess optimally you want to finish with the brothers, and it should be fine since you need one fighter, Reiju, and then finish with the brothers. And final tap and super tandem can proc on the same turn as well. So something like that, I guess, is how they want you to use Reiju. So pretty interesting, I guess. Obviously, you can also use Sanji as part of the super tandem. So start with Rush, hit with someone else that is fighter, then Reiju, and then you have 3 more units to use the super tandem with. So overall, I think the batch is pretty interesting, but I don't know if it's strong in particular. And to really make good use of it long term, you need to max at least the super tandem of Reiju, which is going to be hard as well, of course, since Kizuna limited legend and all that. Finally, PvP, not going to talk a lot about it, I took a quick look. She doesn't look good at all. I leave it up there if you want to read it, but yeah, from what I can see, there's really no reason to use her in PvP. Don't really see any reason to use her even on defense. So yeah. that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.